opportunity for a taste. And what you can do is you can work your way around the room, and then when you've decided the one that you really love, then maybe you can go back for a little bit more. But really, and you're just tasting that, you're not going to swallow all of that, because otherwise we'll be in difficulty later. And the first thing that you want to do is then you want to smell it. You swirl it around a little bit, right up to the nose. I remember earlier on we were talking about that, about tastes and flavors. So there's your first thing, which is about the olfactory nerves and smelling it in the nose there. So that's the first thing that you want to do. And then you want to have a nice look at it, and like all of the tablecloths are white there, and there's loads of white napkins and stuff, so you can just grab a little white napkin there and you hold it up there and tip the glass over like this, and then you can see all the colours, the depth of colour in it, whether it's a little bit brick coloured or a little bit cherry coloured, and that's going to give you clues about its age. Obviously a different story if you've got white in your glass there. And then of course the next thing is tasting. Now this is the one time when you can ignore what your mammy said, that you're not supposed to slurp. You're allowed to slurp a wine, and the reason you do that is you suck oxygen into your mouth, which mixes with all the flavours, and you can get all a clearer idea of all the different flavours when you do that. So you're just going to go. And break my first rule, and I didn't spit to it, but I think we can imagine that I just did that just there. So. And then what you do is you just chuck that out into your spittoon, and you can use a little bit of the next one coming along, like if it's radically different wine. So you hang on to the same glass for the entire tasting. If it's radically different, like you're going to have a white, then just take a little dribble of the white, mix it all around, chuck the whole thing out, and then you put your tasting amount of white in. So that's kind of how it works. I'd recommend when you arrive at one of the tables to start off with the lightest. And like you're really, really lucky here today because you've got loads of people have flown in especially to be here to represent their wines, and they're going to be able to give you a lot more interesting and a lot more precise information about their wines than I am. But I would recommend that you start on the lightest wine on the table and work your way through, which usually means starting on the white and ending up on one of the richer reds, and give you a better idea of what's going on there. Because if you start on the reds, it'll kind of fill up your mouth with all the flavour, and you can't really get the delicate whites then at the end. But by all means, they're here to tell you all about their wines. I'm not going to bore you all that. I just thought you'd give me a quick masterclass on that, and we'll see you all later for dinner.